Gigabyte Grizzly Brohema, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, or like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. If I see you without one, I'm gonna kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Council meeting. It is Thursday night, and once again, we are here to talk about the week that was in Fight Underground. First of all, I want to thank Miranda Quinn for holding down the fort in last Thursday night's special edition. Thank you, Miranda, and also I apologize for the fact that you had to put up with these guys on your own. Sorry, kid. Sometimes it just works out that way.
Hey, we did good.
I wasn't even on last week.
Neither was I.
That's what I was.
And that's why it was good.
It was why I'm apologizing.
Oh, I watched it though. It was all Dash. You're right, Dean. It was all Dash.
Dash ate a lot of crow.
How is your team doing this week, Dash?
My team's doing great. It's about to do even better.
That's what you think.
I see they're picking up right where they left off last week, boys and girls. All right. Once again, we had our normal weekly set of activities where we had our face-off, we had our Fight Underground showdown, and then we also had our aftermath. We also had a little bit of a bonus match, if you will, the Duos Division, the Sons of Liberty making their Fight Underground debut. That is Dennis Gregory, the Golden Boy Dennis Gregory, and Super Hentai, the Sons of Liberty, part of Team Radford, back in the house, back in the Pittsburgh area, and in Fight Underground. But I gotta say, their opponents, another member of Team Radford, Tad Jarvis, along with Timothy Titan. Dean, I thought you were going to get this kid under control. What the hell's going on? I mean, the kid's not listening to you, obviously.
Paul, here's what it comes down to. And if anybody can understand this logic that I'm having here, it's you, okay? It's called tough love. I knew who I was putting him in the ring with, and I knew what the Sons of Liberty was going to do to him. And tough love sometimes means getting your ass whooped.
Okay, well, I guess the question at hand is did he learn anything from it?
Well, he did, actually. He texted me, and he said that he 1% felt bad about having his phone in the ring and taking selfies. And you know what? That's 1% more than he had before I took him on my team.
I got to say, at that rate, getting up to full 100%, Dean, I don't know if you've got that much time left on this planet, kid.
Hey, you know what? Every day is a struggle, Paul, but we're just trying, okay? You know, these young kids nowadays, it takes a little bit more little effort there other than just one boot up the ass. I'm sure he's going to have a few more.
Okay, well, I'm going to get to our council members here, and we're going to have a slight discussion, as much as we can, at least for the match that we had. Welcoming back Bubba Brewer. He's back after a week or two off. Bubba, welcome back to the council meeting. I know you were there.
Thank you, Paul.
You were there that night to watch that match. I want to get your opinion on it. I mean, the Sons of Liberty, man, Pittsburgh legends, if you will.
Two tough individuals, and they just destroyed that team. I mean, Jarvis can't do the phone stuff. It's not good. They weren't paying attention. They just were lackadaisical, and they felt the brunt of Gregory and Hentai. It was bad.
You know, the best part, Bubba, is I told him, when you're in there with those two, those guys, you can't let it inch. You got to get them. So at the start of that bell, jump them. Give them the old 1-2.
They turned their back to Hentai. Gregory was all over but crying.
Oh, my God.
You know,
Talk about rookie mistakes.
I knew that they would probably make that rookie mistake, but I figured I'd get him off the gun, and I knew that Hentai and Gregor were just going to pound him.
Oh,
But
he'd be crap.
I'm so ecstatic to have Hentai over on Team Radford. I did have balloons, but I figured I'd shove them in RPW's face. Bang,
Pop with
bang,
the joy.
told you, bud.
Yeah. You got one over on me. It's cool. It's cool.
Founding fathers stick together, bud. You should have known that from the gate.
Yeah, I understand.
All right.
I'd give him a shot. He ghosted me that last couple of days, and you beat me to it. Fair and square. I mean, it is what it is.
See, you're more of a man than Dash ever will be.
That's true.
Wow.
Dean, you
Oh, God.
you call that tough love, and I call that Team Radford imploding. I love nothing more than to see Ted Jarvis, your number 2 overall pick, getting his ass handed to him. So as far as I'm concerned, I was just happy to see a member of Team Radford lose.
Dash, you're sitting here talking up Resnick like he's the unstoppable force.
I
And all
didn't
this
bring
other
up
jazz.
anything
Do you
about
remember
Resnick.
what
Why
happened?
are we still
Do
talking
you
about Sean
remember,
Resnick? We're
bud,
past that.
what
We're past that.
happened? I see your gums flapping, but I still don't hear anything that makes any kind of sense because you got your ass whooped.
Okay, yeah, we all heard that last week. That was last week's message. We're talking
That's
about
right.
this
Move
week.
on.
We're moving forward. Dash things didn't quite work out the way you wanted them to. We understand that. Hey, shit happens in this business. But anyway, let's move on. So while I got your attention, Dash, let's talk about that match. Sons of Liberty and Ted Jarvis and Timothy Titan. Your perspective on what went down.
My perspective is it was an ass kicking, plain and simple. I mean, Super Hentai and Denny Gregory, 2 men that I know very well, that I've known for a very long time. They're a very capable team. They can do a great deal here at Fight Underground, and I still question Dean's logic when it comes to Tad Jarvis at all.
Well, I think a lot of us are questioning that logic. I don't know if there's going to be any getting through this kid's head. Just to be honest with you, I mean, I've seen some of the kids today. You got a lot on your plate with that kid, so I'm going to kick it over.
But he can cut him at any time, right, Paul? If it doesn't work out, he can cut him at any time.
I'm sure
The thing that gets me, though, Dean made a very bold choice picking him as early as he did in the draft, and I think he's seeing that maybe he made a mistake.
Hey, Mel Kiper, just be quiet, Mel. Just hold up, Mel Kiper. Just
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyway, moving along. Stacy Hunter here again with us again this week. Stace, your thoughts on what went down in that tag team match, our duos division match with the Sons of Liberty making their Fight Underground debut?
I do understand where Dean's coming from on this, because that, I think, is the only way that Tad may learn. I'm glad that the match happened because it was greatly entertaining for me. I love to see Tad get his ass kicked, and the only thing I'm disappointed in is nobody has yet to shove that phone up his ass.
It's coming.
Thank God.
Maybe sooner rather than later if he keeps handling things the way he does. RPW, let's get your thoughts on it.
I mean, everybody's pretty much hit the nail right on the head, except for one thing. Dennis Gregory is like fine wine. He gets better with age. That guy is amazing. I can't say enough good about Denny Gregory. And then Super Hentai being part of Fight Underground, again, a huge asset. I tried my best. Dean beat me there. The match itself was just amazing. Watching 2 veterans take 2 young kids to school and just whipping them pillar to post. There's not much more that you can say about that other than that match was an ass kicking.
Okay, indeed. And, I've known both these gentlemen from the beginnings of their careers here in the Pittsburgh area, Dennis Gregory and myself, multiple times over the years, especially in his start of his young career. We went head-to-head in singles. We went head-to-head in tags. Dennis Gregory, without a doubt, has made more of a name for himself than a lot in the Pittsburgh area. Let's not forget his military service. The guy walks around with a chip on his shoulder 24/7. And what can you say about Super Hentai? The man's been to Japan. he studied in those dojos. Again, I've seen a little more of hentai in the last few years with the cancer benefit shows. This was the first time I've seen Denny in a while, and I have to agree with RPW. Dennis Gregory does not look like he has missed a step with everything that's been going on. Getting into the ring, being able to train has been very difficult, but that military background, that focus has always been with Dennis Gregory. These two guys, personally, I know I've put a lot of my irons in the fire with Warhorse, but somewhere down the line, I want to see the Sons of Liberty and Warhorse go head to head, because I can tell you right now, that is going to be a match for the ages. No two ways about that whatsoever. So, Dean, congratulations.
That's the team right now. That's the dark horse to take out Warhorses now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking outside. I'm outside looking in because I don't have a tag team, and Dean has a tag team now that could buy Warhorse right off the top of the charts of the Mountain and Fight Underground. So,
Bubba, the way I look at it, and Paul, I will thank you for that, because I'm telling you right now, I hit the jackpot on having Hentai and Gregory come onto my team. They're going to push boundaries, and not only are they veterans in this business, but they are two of the baddest son of a bitches I've ever met in my life.
And I'm not gonna deny any of that. I am not. Again, I've been in the ring with these guys. I know how hard they can hit, and everybody knows I can lay a pretty good ass kicking on somebody, but both those guys push me to their limits in their careers, and I think this is just a huge step up in the duos division as far as Fight Underground goes. There is now some serious competition in my mind for Warhorse. No two ways about that.
Absolutely. As much as I hate to agree with Bubba and Dean, the Sons of Liberty are the only team that I've seen thus far in Fight Underground that can give Warhorse a run for their money.
Well, thank you, Dash, for blessing us.
Oh, thank you. You made my day.
Hey, sun shines on a dog's ass once in a while. Dash agrees with you two guys. What can I say? So, before we move on in our talk of the Underground Showdowns, I have a video that we found. Apparently, Justin Idol tried to bury this video that went on prior to Area 2 beginning. This is a video in which he confronted his team captain, Brandon Kay. So I'd like to cue that video up right now and let the folks watching at home, as well as the council members, take a look at this video.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, man. I scared you? Sorry. I've been waiting for you. You were in there the whole time. Well, wait. Huh? Are you going to do that or not? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Really? Yeah. Are you really going to make me talk to you like this? Social distance, my man. It ain't my rules. Okay, you know what? That's a stop. Okay. Okay. All right. Pull that. Okay, thank you. This is stupid. Okay. Area 2. Yeah. I'm your top dog. I'm your top wrestler you got. And you put Lawless in the tournament, I got a proposition for you. Take Lawless out, put me in, we win. Lawless out, me in, and you in. We win. Let's do it. Lawless out, Idol win. Lawless out, Idol win. I like it. Let's do it. You said it. It rolls right off the tongue. Nah. Are you kidding? Nah. We're not gonna do that, man. What? Why? He's already ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. Yeah, you look ready. You're looking good, man. We'll get you maybe Area 3. No, you know what? Screw you then. You know what? Because I have my own team. You know what? Fine. You want keep Lawless in. I'll just take Zach Thomas out and I'll put myself in. You're gonna do that to Zach? Because I'm the real show. Yeah, I'll do it, Zach. I don't care. Stupid. I tried to be professional. You just meanie. Dumb. So dumb. I don't know why I picked him.
All right. Wow. Well, little rift in the team, if you will. Justin Idol not agreeing with Brandon Kay's pick of the Gavel David Lawless for Area 2. Dare I say, go so far as to challenge his team captain. Justin Idol, a team captain himself, you'd think he would know a little better. But this is a very interesting development here, as we're seeing some animosity apparently within Team Brandon K, and it's coming from Justin Idol is what it's actually doing. Bubba Brewer, you know a little bit about team dissension, having had some yourself. And I know you love Justin to death, brother.
Oh, I love him tremendously.
What's going?
Well, he just feels like, to me, like on that video, he's going rogue. He just does whatever he wants to do. And he lost in Area 1, so he has to work his way back up. And he just can't be demanding everything, Paul. He's got to work. And then, hey, I like Brandon, but Brandon's going to have to watch Justin now. So everybody was talking about my team. You know, I don't know. Justin doesn't get what he doesn't deserve Area 2 anything at all, actually.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was on your case for, trouble in paradise, if you will.
Oh, yeah.
Team Bubba. But
Oh, yeah.
now it looks like that animosity is creeping through another team right now, and really being caused between two team captains, because as we know, Justin Idol has his own team, as he stated there. You know, he wants to take Zach Thomas out and put himself in.
Paul, do you think he's just trying to redeem himself, though?
I mean, it's possible, yeah. But, I mean, if you're part of a team, you got to go with what the team, you got to go with what the game plan the coach lays out. I mean, Mike Tomlin sits down every week. He lays out a game plan. I don't think you see Ben Roethlisberger changing that game plan because, he maybe threw an interception the week before. So, again, and Justin being a team captain, he should know better. I mean, I'm sure he wants his team to fall in line. He wants his team to follow the game plan. So,
but I don't think Justin's ego will let that happen.
It won't.
It's going to lead to some very interesting things, I think, coming down the line here. Dash Bennett, you seem to have a pretty good grip on your team. Justin,
I do. I don't know why you're laughing.
Okay.
That's good.
Anyway, so being that Justin's a team captain as well as a team member, I mean, you being a team captain, what would you say if somebody did something like that?
I mean, all I have to say is, I can see Dustin petitioning Brandon to get in, but for him to pull his own person out and take his spot, I mean, you'd have to think that Justin is really, really bothered by that loss to the Rev. He was so close to winning those finals, and I mean, I think maybe something might have snapped in him to make him make a decision like that.
Well, one thing about Justin, I don't know, that marble is definitely rolling around inside that coffee can, man. I mean, kid's a few sandwiches short of a picnic. So, Stacey Hunter, team leader that you are, Team Hunter. I mean, I know you've had some setbacks in Team Hunter. By the way, before we get to that, do we have an update on loss prevention?
We do. He's at home and he's pissed off. There's your loss prevention
All right.
update
Well,
for the week.
he's lost
More of an
prevention.
update than we've had in a month.
He's
Yeah.
loss prevention. What can I say? But anyway, as a team captain, somebody comes up and does you like Justin did. What do you think about that?
Gross.
Well, I don't know, because I think it's showing initiative to the team captain, like, hey, put me in there. I want to show what I can do. But this is Justin. We know what he can do. And I think it was more of an ego-driven thing for him to go to Brandon and do that. And it's definitely ego-driven for him to pull his own guy out and try to win Area 2 because he lost Area 1.
And Dean, everybody knew where I was going with that. I don't got to do a Chris Collinsworth. I know ladies like no football, ladies no sports. I mean, come on now. Jesus, this isn't NBC. We tell the truth here. So
Fake news.
while I got you in a good mood, Dean.
Let's hear it.
You and Justin, I mean, you know each other really well. I mean, you're a team captain. Justin's a team captain.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, first things first, I'm going to send my well wishes out to Brandon K because he had some surgery on his arm. So, Brandon, get well soon. Hopefully you can get on this meeting here sometime soon and join us. Now, as far as Justin's concerned, Stacey touched she hit the nail on the head. She touched the top of it. It is what it is. Justin is a spotlight whore. That's Justin, okay? If Justin's not stealing the light from somebody. I'm surprised he didn't steal Scotty Gash's light a long time ago. It just comes down to if he's not on top, he's going to try and screw whoever over to take the spot. That's Justin Idol. So here he is once again. Justin cheated, and then he lost. That's called karma. It bit him in the ass. And now here he is again trying to figure out what the hell he's going to do, and he's trying to persuade Brandon into making some stupid decisions. But Brandon will not fall for his dumb shit. I guarantee you that.
But can I say something real quick? If Justin pulls any of his team out of any matches, I will take anybody from Justin's team and they can come to my team because I would never do that. So just put it out there, Paul.
You talk about imploding, Paul. Imploding. If Justin pulls any of those people on his team out of a important match to try and either become the champion here or just make a statement,
They'll
they're
roll
going to
out.
beat the shit out of him. And they're going to leave. They're going to stop him and walk him.
At some point in all our lives, we gotta remember when it's time to give up that spotlight, man. I mean, I don't need to get over anymore. I don't care. I'm here to get the talent over. So maybe Justin should look a little deeper into that. RPW, your thoughts on that situation and what we just saw in that video?
I'm just thinking Justin might not have faith in his own team if he has to pull somebody to then take their spot and try to redeem himself. Because that's what I honestly think is that his ego was hurt so much from his loss in Area 1 that he wanted to come back in and try to steal Area 2.
And let's face it, this is one of those things where if you're trying to be an active competitor while being on this council, while being involved with these teams, I think that's more of a hindrance than a help. You know, if I dare say, because is Justin's thoughts on helping his team or Justin's thoughts on just helping himself? So in the weeks to come, it's going to be very interesting to see just how all this goes down with Justin Idol. Personally, kid, you had your shot in Area 1. Like some of the council members said here tonight, you got to redeem yourself. You got to work your way back up. You're not just going to get a top spot. You were in the tournament, basically, dude. So once the tournament's settled, maybe you get in there as a contender. But for now, if you don't like it, too fucking bad. That's the way I look at it. So we're going to move
Paul,
on.
you know what? You hit the nail on the head real quick. And there's something that these guys need to understand. I think everybody involved tonight, including Dash, no matter how bad his ego is, you know, these young stallions that we have on this roster, it's not about the guy who's been in the business 20 years. It's about the guy who's been in the business 5 years trying to get help to push himself to that next level. Listen, I'm active. Any one of us could easily lace up a pair of boots, maybe not Dash so much, but it's one of them things where if you got to lace up a pair of boots, Paul, it wasn't that long ago. You laced them up and laid some ass, and I saw it, okay? But it's one of them things. If we really wanted to go out there and beat somebody's ass, we don't need an invitation. We're going to go do it. But this company, Fight Underground, is not about egotistical driven assholes. It's about young, hungry, professional wrestlers who want to make a mark in this business. And that's where Justin misses the boat because he needs to learn. You can use the phrase, take a step back or whatever you want to do. But the reality of it is, know your spot. You're not in the top spot anymore. You got old, bud. Figure it out. Teach these kids. Justin has the mind for this business if he wants it. But instead, he's so driven by his ego. Instead of teaching these guys, Zach Thomas is a stud. That kid can work. Why would you pull him off of a match? That's stupid.
I'll take him.
I'll take him.
I agree with you 100%. And, you know, yeah, sure, I did do that. You're right, Dean. And there's a reason why I left every thumbtack in both of my boots, because if I got to do it again, I got to pull every single one out. So it's kind of hindering me from doing it again. So
At that point, you just get a new pair of boots.
yeah, probably should just do it anyway. But anyhow, all right, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about that match with David Lawless and the White Rabbit, Zach Rain. And I'll tell you what, I haven't seen David Lawless in a while. This was my first opportunity to see Zach Rain. Bubba, you got a little bit of it handed to you on your team. Team K took one on you.
Yeah.
Give us a breakdown on what you think happened.
I just think that Lawless used the ref at the end. Zach is tremendous. He has that no quit attitude. He was this close, guys. He was this close from moving on in area 2. I give it up for Zach. Lawless to me is not flawless, and that's why I don't like attorneys. So he was just a tad quick better in that match. And I'm not gonna sit here and cry and do whatever Dash always does. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take it like a man. And Zach will be back. And Zach gave 100% in that match. And I believe Zach, that was the first time he was ever in the Pittsburgh area. And he had a lot riding on this match. And he's still Team Bubba. He still gives 150% of his shoot style, and he will be back. I'll take the loss on the chin, guys. I'm not going to sit here and scream and holler and yell. I'm gonna man up and nut up and say, hey, better luck next time for Zach Rain. I got ideas with Zach, actually. So, but Lawless, yeah, it was this close.
All right, Stacy Hunter, I'm going to bring you in here. And again, you were there with us at Area 2. You had a chance to see the match firsthand. You had a chance to watch the match back. Let's get your thoughts on Zach Rain and David Lawless.
Well, Lawless used his experience to beat Zach Rain. I think Zach had a very good showing, so kudos to you, Bubba. Yay.
Thank you.
It was a hard loss, but, Lawless proved, what he said he was going to do, and that was win. So we'll see what happens from here.
Okay. Thank you very much, Stacy. Dash Bennett, let's bring you in here. The Gavel, David Lawless, the White Rabbit, Zach Rain. 2 debuting athletes in Fight Underground. You were there. You had a chance to see the match. Let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, this is my first time getting to see both of them perform live, and I was very impressed. But the thing that I don't get about Zach Rain is he constantly said that his strategy going into a fight is seeing how hard he can hit and how hard he can get hit. And
Nothing wrong with that.
It must have knocked a few brain cells loose because, clearly David Lawless had the better strategy. He was the smarter man, and he won just like I thought he would.
Oh, come on.
Hey, I'm married to an attorney. I have a little bit of...
hopefully she got a prenup.
But
she'll get a little more than half by the time it's over.
But the thing is, though, that, that was Zach Rain's plan going into that fight, and that's going to continue to be Zach Rain's plan going into any fight. He kind of just showed his hand there. So anytime someone gets in the ring with Zach Rain, all they need to do is just bend the rules a little, and he's not going to do anything about it. He's just going to try to kick and punch his way out. And what good is that going to do when he gets outsmarted again?
He didn't get outsmarted.
Kind of that Rocky Balboa mentality, yeah. A little bit of that Rocky Balboa mentality there. Let's just go straight into the fight. Will that be a sound strategy moving along? I don't know. RPW, what say you?
I have to agree with Dash there. You saw over the weekend the Tyson fight. They punched themselves out in the first round, right? So you can only punch and kick so many times before you punch yourself out. That's where David Lawless came in and capitalized on it. He outsmarted. He did. He
used the ref to his advantage.
He outsmarted Zach. So kudos to Lawless. I thought he was extremely aggressive, and sometimes the aggressive one wins the fight.
Very true. Very true. Dean Radford, let's get your thoughts on this showdown from this week.
Paul, I'm bouncing my head off the wall over here. I got to hit something real quick so I can focus on these two young stallions. All right. Can I just touch something real quick about Justin? Wouldn't he have to trade himself?
That's an interesting point. That's an
'Cause
interesting point.
I mean, I'm sick of Justin trying to find a way, but wouldn't he have to trade himself off of Brandon's team for somebody on his own team?
That's a very interesting point that we may have to talk, as a council off air. How is that going to? I mean, he is the team captain, okay, and he is an active member of the roster.
But he's on Brandon's team.
Yes.
So he would have to.
That's where I was going.
If
And
he wants
Brandon
to
already
pull
has a
Zach,
spot in the tournament.
right? So if he wants to pull Zach and put himself in, he would have to trade Brandon for himself and lose somebody on his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Shucks. I was trying to get somebody.
So now, while Justin's trying to pull the string and pull the wool over people's eyes, he's really screwing himself.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Dean, and that's something that we're going to have to consider. I mean, we know there's the possibility for trades. We know there's the possibility to, release people. But
Yeah.
Shut up,
yeah,
Stacy.
I mean, does he release
I didn't
himself?
say a word.
He has
You
to.
laughed.
If his ultimate goal is to put himself in that spot, he would have, because Brandon's made his decision. He would have to trade himself for somebody else on his team to take the spot on his own team.
Yeah,
And he'd still be
you know
short
what?
a guy.
I got to be honest with you. I think Brandon might be game for that. I mean, the way he's being, the way that Justin was putting it out there, that he feels he's the man to be in the tournament, even though he already lost his spot in the tournament, so to speak.
Wouldn't we be considered members of our own team, though?
And I think this is the logistical things we may have to talk about that we really didn't think about when we started this.
I think Justin found a loophole.
I mean, Justin's always been a team of one, and that's himself, so it doesn't surprise me.
So so he's not really thinking about the other members of his team necessarily. That's quite obvious if he'd pull out a stud like Zach Thomas just to get his own self back into the ring.
That means Brandon K. That means Brandon K would get Zach.
Stacy did bring up a good point, though, about us. Would we be considered part of our own teams? Because if that's the case, then Justin's then on two teams, himself and Brandon's.
Right, and that's kind of when I said he's the team captain, so technically he's on the team. He's the team leader. Again, I use the analogy of the Ben Roethlisberger is the captain of he's the offensive captain of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is the starting quarterback. It's not like Mike Tomlin's the captain. He doesn't go out there for the coin flip.
But he's the coach. Tomlin's the coach.
So, but this is kind of a dual role situation.
Yeah.
Paul, I think you're going to have to dig in on this. We're going to have to hit this nail next week.
Yeah, there's no two ways about that. We are going to.
Because I couldn't pick anybody up. If anybody left anybody, Brandon K would get that first pick automatically due to that situation.
Well, if he releases Justin.
Well, yeah, because Brandon has the rights to Justin Idol.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If he releases him, then he's fair game for anybody to pick up. However,
including himself.
If he trades,
I'm not picking him up.
But Justin can voluntarily leave the team too. We've seen that happen as well.
Well, that's kind of an interesting situation.
Well, we better look into this.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have to delve into this a little deeper. Obviously, some things coming to light now that we never thought of when we originally done this, especially having active members, council members being active roster members as well. And maybe that's the solution. If you're on the council, you can't be on the active roster. I don't know. We're gonna have to.
Maybe.
We're gonna definitely have to dig into this. So, but anyway, I digress. Dean, let's get your thoughts on the match itself.
Yeah. So, all right. So I have never seen Zach wrestle before live. I saw clips. I'm gonna stand by the point that I made with Lawless. And I really truly believe now that kid, Bubba, that kid, that kid is so humble, and that kid's going to do some great things once he gets a little bit more time under his belt. But I think Lawless is here to make a point based off of what I said weeks ago. He has not made that top-notch spot in any company and really been noticed as a top player in a singles division, and that's what his goal is. And I think that's the side of Lawless that we saw. There was a lot of angry motivation going on in my man's head. And I think that that performance was stellar. It seemed like he had an answer for everything that Zach was trying to do out there. So that was a good match. I enjoyed watching it. But I think that in Fight Underground, Lawless may be flawless.
Okay. I too, like I said, I've seen a lot of David Lawless since he's gotten into our business. This was my first opportunity to see Zach Rain. I saw a lot of good things out of the kid, no two ways about that. I do question that puncher's mentality, like some of the other council members have.
Well, if they ever get it, Paul, if he ever gives an opportunity again in a rematch, maybe down the road, I mean, we'll work on it. I mean, I'll talk to him and stuff like that. I mean, he can't go in with that Rocky Balboa stuff of taking 20 shots all the time. I mean, it only takes that 1 second, like Flawless did with the ref, and he did what he did. So, I mean, I'll talk to him, but
I mean,
I appreciate all your guys' comments.
Zach Rain does have a lot of potential. He does have a bright future, but he needs to rethink his game plan. So I mean, Bob, I think you definitely need to step in and do some coaching.
Well, I'm not gonna dampen his fighting spirit if he wants to go in there and kick somebody's ass. I'm not gonna stop any of my guys at doing that. But I just think it was just, look, Lawless. He's an attorney. He's always thinking. That was the only thing that capitalized on his victory. He's never, ever not stopped thinking on anything. He's a wrestler who thinks all the time. I'll give him that.
And I think, Bubba, to that, I think that with Zach, watching his post comments from that loss, I mean, he ate humble pie real quick.
Yeah.
I would enjoy a rematch between those two if he had a different mindset going into it. I think he would give him a good, run for his money. I think that would be a solid rematch.
Hopefully down the road we can do it.
No two ways about that. And again, I wouldn't want to. I'm not necessarily saying that his style is wrong or his thought process is wrong, but you got to remember, in boxing you get 10 seconds to get back up off the mat. In wrestling, it only takes 3 seconds to lose a bout.
That's right.
So, and as far as David Lawless goes, we've all touched on this. The man's an attorney. My feelings on attorneys, well, that's something for another day because I've built some houses and I'm on a lot of Christmas card lists for obvious reasons. But here's the thing about David Lawless. This guy is so arrogant, so conceited, so all about himself. When this guy goes to a funeral, he is pissed off he's not the corpse. So he will not allow himself to lose. That's just his mentality. And, he's been around for a few years now. Some of these younger guys, they're all full of piss and vinegar, but Lawless he's all about one thing, and that's getting the 1, 2, 3, which is exactly what he did in this match. Bubba, I'm taking nothing away from your man.
I appreciate it. It was a good match.
He probably needs a little more polish, a little more understanding of probably guys like Lawless, because he's going to run into a lot of them in this business.
Maybe he was a little too trusting. Maybe he just wanted to do the fighting, his shoot style, and he just didn't. You can't trust an attorney. Or
not every. Well, we know that.
Yeah.
Not every match is going to be a handshake straight up down the line by the rules.
Right.
And he's going to have to learn that. Hopefully, down the line, he does learn that, and the kid can get himself some victories here and Fight Underground. Because I'd like to see him stay around. I mean, I was impressed with what I did see.
Thank you. Me too. I think he's like Dean said, he was very humble, and you don't get that all the time in this business. So what you see is what you get with that guy. I've known him for many years.
Without a doubt. And sometimes that can actually be a downfall. That can be actually a hindrance more than a help. he's going to probably have to learn to toughen up a little bit as far as that does go, because sometimes you got to be that prick. And when you're fighting somebody like David Lawless, you've got to be a prick times 10, because he's a prick times 20. So, but that was without a doubt an interesting match. I would love to see it again somewhere down the line, and with Zach maybe with a little more of a little more edginess to him. You know, maybe now he understands what's going on and what it's going to take to succeed here in Fight Underground. So that is the wraps up the portion of our show where we dealt with the week that was. Now I'd like to go into the week that's coming up here in Fight Underground. Again, 2 people making their Fight Underground debuts coming up this week. Format the same as always. Monday night we will see the face-off. The showdown will be on Tuesday, and then the aftermath on Wednesday. Again, 2 people making their Fight Underground debuts this week. It will be Sam Beal and it will be John Roden. I'm going to start off with you, Stacy. I'd like to get your thoughts on this particular match.
Well, I think it's going to be a good match. I hate to say it, but I actually think Roden's going to win as long as Dash can keep his nose out of the match. Hopefully he learned something from the other match he was involved in. But, yeah, I do think Roden is going to get the win in this one.
Okay, RPW, let's get your thoughts on our match coming up this week.
I'm intrigued because I haven't seen Roden in quite some time, and this will be my first time watching Sam Beal live. So I'm very interested in seeing which way this is going to go. John's coming in here with a lot to gain. He wants to prove everybody wrong, and I think you're going to see a different side of John Roden than you previously have, in his time in Pittsburgh. So this is going to be a tough one for me. I'm really not sure which way I'm going to side with, because like I said, I don't know much about Sam, so he might come in here and surprise us all. So I'm undecided as far as who's going to take this one. I'm going to be watching closely, though.
All right, very good. Bubba Brewer, I want to get your thoughts on this matchup coming up. John Roden, Sam Beal.
I honestly never seen Roden live. I've seen a lot of matches on him, and it's a shame that he's on Dash's team. And no offense, Dash, but hopefully you don't have Resnick ringside or do something like you did the last time, and let your guy win on his own. I don't know much about Sam Beal, but it's going to be a good match. But I'm probably going to, I hate to say this, I'm probably going to go with John on that one, on this one. I hate to say it, but just based on all his accomplishments that I've seen, I just think he's going to be the better wrestler in that ring on that night.
All right. Hate to say it, just a little tear in the eye there for Bubba Brewer. Dean Radford, let's get your thoughts on our upcoming match, John Roden and Sam Beal. I know you know of John Roden. I don't know how much you know about Sam Beal, but let's get your thoughts.
Paul, before I brought Sam Beal into Fight Underground, I did my homework. This kid is an up-and-comer. He has all the tools of being a stud, okay? With that being said, I do know John Roden. And we're going to go back to you made mention of Dennis Gregory having a chip on his shoulder and driving him towards being the best and looking the best and everything else. John Roden has a chip on his shoulder. And the chip on his shoulder is going from being in, not so comfortable in his own skin to wanting to be better. And that kid has come a long way. I will honestly sit back and say that with this match, may the best man win, because it's going to be a fight of 2 hungry young stallions in that ring. I think that we're looking at potentially the top 2 people that could run this company on top. So
Okay.
I'm not going to take away from either one because I have no beef with John Roden. John Roden is he's a good kid. And Sam Beal is also a very good kid, humble pie. But he goes out there and he works, man. And when you're putting two people in the ring like these guys, anything can happen. I think we're going to see some magic.
All right, very good. Last but certainly not least, Dash Bennett, your man John Roden, Sam Beal. Straight up, let's get your thoughts.
Well, I've also done my research on Sam Beal, and Sam Beal is a tremendous get for Dean Radford. I'll give you all the credit in the world for scouting and picking him up, because Sam Beal is the kind of person that can be a star. He has that certain it factor, and I think we're going to see that come out when we see him in the ring and fight underground. On any other day, I would say that Sam Beal is going to win. But Sam Beal is going to be in the ring with John Roden. And since I picked up John Roden to Team Bennett, we've had a lot of discussions. We've had a lot of strategy sessions. And the thing that's going to set John Roden apart from everyone else in this Area 2 tournament is that he's going to be walking in with the greatest weapon that I could give him. I have handed down my finishing maneuver, the Skull Splitter, to John Roden. I've taught him the maneuver. I've taught him multiple ways of how to put it on someone in a match, how to sneak it in there. And with the right finisher, he is going to, I hear the comments, you guys suck it up. With the right finisher, he is going to change the game and fight underground.
Yeah, but not your finisher.
That move has beaten more people and won me more championships than probably anyone else here on this council.
Get the hell out. What are you, living a Cracker Jack box?
Point of order. Point of order. I think I'd have to bet against that there,
God.
Dash. My resume, your resume, you know what I mean?
Are you and Skull Splitter brothers? Because
You
you
smoke.
live on the same planet as stupid.
I hear everyone laughing, but the bottom line is, with the right finishing maneuver, I mean, look at the Diamond Cutter for DDP. Look at the Stone Cold Stunner for Steve Austin. With the Skull Splitter in John Roden's arsenal, that is going to be a game changer for him. And mark my word, it's going to get him all the way to the finals of Area 2.
You know,
Does he want to use it?
I gotta chime in here for a second because I don't mean to cut you off, Bubba, because
That's okay. That's okay.
I actually wanted to get your input, Robert Parker Williams, because I think I know where you're going with this.
yeah, I think you do, because I've fallen victim to that. That move is deadly. You could sit on the apron, on the ropes and get dropped on your head. And again, it takes 3 seconds to win a match. Well, it's going to take you about 3 minutes to get up from that. I've been put through tables with it. I hit with that on the floor. Like I said, that move is no joke. So kudos, Dash. That's a hell of a strategy going into this.
But Dash won't even let him. You just let Roden use his own finisher. He's just giving him his own, like, oh.
Well, and we've discussed that. And John Roden's finisher requires, a certain amount of strength, whereas the Skull Splitter, he can hit on anyone. I mean, he's not going to, he's not going to be able to lift a man like Brohemoth up on his shoulders or a man like Beastman up on his shoulders. But the beauty of
So you're
this
saying
move
he's
is that-
not strong enough?
That's what he's saying. That's what he's just said.
Wow, no wonder. Oh, never mind.
Dash, hold on. What is his finisher called?
His finisher is called the Skull Splitter.
No.
His
I
finisher.
said, what is his finisher called?
We didn't discuss that.
Right.
Oh,
Or
you're a
maybe
dictator.
he just wasn't. You know what? Listen, it's good that
Wow.
it's good that you and John Roden, you got the same language going with the nicknames. You both got the J's. He's the Juggernaut, and you're the Jackoff. It's that simple.
I bet you
Laugh all
Roden
you
didn't
want.
agree to this. I bet you Roden did not agree to this. I'll bet. I guarantee it. He doesn't
Maybe
even know
you
what you're
should look
talking
at all the BS you served up for Resnick and how that got him.
RPW, back me up here. You took on the finisher of one of your mentors. I mean,
Absolutely.
what?
Yeah, I mean it was discussed in training. I used the Father Nelson at the end of my run as an in-ring performer, and I also when I took over another character, I used the slice bread from the original Mantis. So it was passed down, and you know what, I took it and I used it to my advantage because the move's deadly. The move wins matches, and at the end of the day, we're here to win matches. So you do whatever you got to do.
I understand that,
That's
but
right.
I'm not going to.
So taking someone's finishing maneuver is a sign of respect. It's an homage. And it doesn't matter if it was his idea or mine. The bottom line is he has a game changer, and he's going to use it to win.
I am so glad that John Cena let me use the FU, and I made it so much better than what it was.
I'm not telling my team to go out and use a keg tapper, Dash. They can use their own finishers and be their own people. I think on your team they have to conform to you, which is pretty bad. If I
Maybe I should call Roden and give him a new finisher. It's called Punch You in the Face. 1, 2, 3.
10 times over.
Knock it all you want, but you'll see it's going to be a winning strategy. So hate all you want. And Dean,
Didn't he say that a couple weeks ago? He had a winning strategy for Resnick, and we've seen how well that worked out.
yeah, I had a winning strategy for Resnick against Vance Strader, your guy.
I'm not even worried about that. You have bigger problems.
So obviously that didn't roll over to Brohemoth because Brohemoth kind of rolled over Resnick, but I'm sure there's variations of this skull splitter, and one of them has been tonight because Dash, just listening to you talk about it, my skull's splitting in half here. So
You wake up every morning just thinking of this stuff every Thursday when you come on this show, Dash. Every time you come on, like last week you were talking, and this week you talk. Next week, what are you going to do?
I'm going to talk the same as everyone else. I'm sorry you guys don't like it when I do it, but it's my job to be here and to open my mouth and talk.
Well, yeah, because we're trying to stay awake for this hour.
You're not good at it. But the thing is, though, your team can't even do their own finishers because you dictate what everybody does. That's what you are, a dictator of a small little country with maybe 4 people on it.
The island of Bennett.
You have to get voted in.
How do I get voted off? But anyway, as far as this matchup goes, again, 2 guys that I'm not very familiar with. I have seen more of John Roden than I have of Sam Beal. I have to agree that I think John Roden has something to prove here in Fight Underground. If for no other reason, Dash has promised he's going to be the sun, the moon, and the stars. No pressure there. But I think the kid has what it takes. I don't know enough about Sam Beal to call it for him. I could be totally wrong, but we're going to find out coming up this week. So I'm going to lay out once again that schedule as we wrap up for this week. Monday, you will see the face-off between Sam Beal and John Roden. The Underground Showdown will take place Tuesday night, and then the aftermath again on Wednesday night. And we will follow all that up with the council meeting Thursday night at 8 o'clock, where we will all once again get together. Hopefully not end up with a migraine by the time it's over.
Well, Dash is going to be talking, so you might as well take the Tylenol beforehand.
Yeah. He's going to have all his guys come out with his theme music. All his guys are going to have to come out to his theme music now, and they're all going to dress like Dash Penn.
Oh man, can you
That's
just picture
a great idea?
Can you picture
All the
should get
dumbass
shirts made.
shithead shirts.
Oh, way to go, Bubba.
You know,
Way to
the
go.
thing about that is John Roden would come out in Dash's singlet, and the singlet would just fall right off of him.
On that note, I am going to wrap up the council meeting for this week. Once again, I would like to thank all of my council members for being here. as well as all of our fans and supporters who watch us across our social media platforms. Please watch this week's matches and setups and aftermath, and we will be back next week. Thank you all for being here.